It's Week 17 of the 2024 season, and we'll keep our eye on Azeez Al-Shaair, who's now up to 60 tackles after last week's game. It's the Monarchs and the Sentinels, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at the Londoners as they get ready here. They've been cooking these last couple months, winners of 7 of their last 8 games.
And if you extrapolate that out to a full season, they'd be 14-2. And anyone in the NFL today would sign up for that.
Meanwhile, for visiting San Juan, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And we are underway here in London. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance. And even in an age of passing first, that is no small accomplishment.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The numbers for him from a week ago, 21 carries, 118 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. But Charles, as we've covered, they've already clinched their spot in the postseason, so now they just want to avoid adding any additional names to this list before the postseason begins.
Terrific observation, because trying to move up a spot,
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. And here's Trenton Gill on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the former Tar Heel, their rookie quarterback from UNC.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week, so keeping him contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 20 carries, 103 yards, and a touchdown.
And they've already clinched a playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game, because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
Well, that'll get them to 1st down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. They'll throw with May. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Patterson, he'll try it up the middle. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. From 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. They go play action now. May. And that one into the hands of Ayuk downfield. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. I'll give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a 1st down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
They'll roll him out right. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
And that is a historic run for him, partner. With that pickup, he just broke Lamar Jackson's 2019 record for most yards in a season by a quarterback. No one has done it better across a 16 or 17 game.
And it's a fumble. We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going.
And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. Michael Pittman with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Monarchs will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Charles, every time that he makes one of these plays, I think the front office, they get a bigger and bigger collective smile because they feel more confident that they have found their guy, their future at quarterback.
And they should feel that way. It's obvious he's a big part of why they have such a good record this season. You're right about the bright future as well, and by association, a bright future for the franchise too.
Seven 0 is our score, ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Sentinels offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's in the midst of a very solid season, currently 2nd in the NFL in passing yards. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Now 3rd down and 7. Cousins now. That one behind his receiver and incomplete.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be a 39-yard punt, 4 on the return, and they will take over 1st and 10. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. Still a lot to be determined in terms of their final seeding. We do know they'll be in the playoffs, but in what shape, what capacity, we're not sure. But here, ready for a sports cliche, and then just take them one game at a time, right?
Yeah, they have to. And look, the thing about cliches, they've been proven over time. All right, we know that. So, yes, take it one game at a time, but make sure that there's no let-up, no getting off the gas, right? No mental letdowns, because each one is important for them to accomplish their goals.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
Well, it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
1st and 10, it's Patterson. Taken down at the 47-yard line. When you look at this defense, they sit at number 20 in the NFL right now against the run.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
And cue the applause, and there it is for him. The mark he's been aiming for all season long. 1,000 yards. Just the 3rd quarterback to reach that milestone. joining Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick. That's a season's worth of work and a huge commitment to get him the touches that he needed to make that happen. Congratulations.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. They'll run with Patterson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
One more time with Patterson. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Von Miller, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Prater's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. Let's see if they can do better here on this drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He completes this to Russell Gage. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. They go play action. Cousins. That's complete to his running back, Herbert. And he'll get it down here to the 43. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Herbert powering up the middle. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. From the 43, here's a 2nd and 9. They'll go again with Herbert. Shelling through the defense. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Keon White coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. In a play like that, with how far he had to go to make that sack, shows how athletic defensive ends have become in the NFL.
And not just athletic, this is coached in a big way. Run to the football at all times. How about him never giving up on it and pursuing all the way across the field?
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. London about set to take over on offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Here's May. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Straight ahead, Patterson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
In motion right is Pittman. A shotgun handoff to Patterson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. They'll run with Patterson. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. They'll go. It's Patterson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Here's Patterson again. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. A right side run with Patterson. Now he's going to be stopped well behind the line of scrimmage, and that's pretty much going to wipe out their gain from 1st down. Well, now hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. From the gun on 3rd down is May. And he will be marked down short of the first as they get to him at the 29. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the 1st half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
Prater's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this 1st half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Sentinels offense and Puka Nacua ready to take over once more. And he's right up there amongst the league's best when it comes to racking up receiving yards this season. Currently ranked in the top 5 as things stand here. The offense now at the line ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 13-0 here as they try to get things started offensively. 1st and 10. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing is Cousins.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
So the completion good for 7 there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Cousins to throw it.
That one out wide and intercepted. Racing to the end zone.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Prater on to add the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. San Juan now getting set to take over on offense.
And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Throw to the right, caught by Okonkwo.
And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Now Cousins. And he's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Cousins again.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Cousins. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll throw again. Cousins. And it's caught. Touchdown.
Puka Nacua
There to make the grab.
and the Sentinels are on the board here in the final minute of the first half.
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. And a lot of football, full half to be played. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room. To throw, it's May.
So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it. It was a terrific first half from the rookie number 3 overall pick, Drake May. He's got a touchdown pass on the ledger as his guys were able to build a double-digit lead. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, but we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
And he takes this near the 25, just a little pass there, call it the 26. So this offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
From the shotgun, May with it.
Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll leave them with a 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd down, here's Patterson. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
From this vantage point, they've got the lead here, so for me, that'd be enough to go ahead and punt the football and let my defense defend the long field.
If you go for it, you don't get it, then you really put your defense in a tight spot.
Yeah, but we never know what people ultimately will decide to do here on 4th and inches.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
San Juan's offense ready to get started again. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook.
And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Here's a give to Herbert. He'll take this to the 46.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Another carry for Herbert on second down.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down.
Throwing, Cousins.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. To throw, Cousins. Trying to improvise. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
To throw is Cousins.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 10 more there and another first down.
They'll run here with Herbert.
He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
He'll get that complete to Khalil Herbert.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Cousins. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Grady Jarrett
With a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Santos' kick is up and through, and that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Monarchs offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll start out here with the option left. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Patterson running between the tackles. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Looking to throw. May. Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
2nd and 6. Ayuk going to go in motion right. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. 3rd down and 1. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. 57 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll throw with May. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Back to the ground now. Patterson. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. And they go play action with May. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's taken down inside the 30. That one good for 16 as the drive continues. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in London, as it looks like we are just about set and ready to begin with the fourth. Give to Patterson, running to the right. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Play action. May. This is caught. Touchdown. Logan Thomas. 29 yards. And the Monarchs are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point good by Prater, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The visitors' offense and Kirk Cousins getting ready for this next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
They still can't get him. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only first down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here, they hope they can regroup and get something different going here on second.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
That is caught.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
They'll set up the screen to Herbert.
No gain on the screen there. It's second down. Cousins.
They'll set up the screen for Herbert.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. From the gun, here's Cousins. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. Flushed out right. The decision to go for it doesn't pan out. And as a result, possession switches hands. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Again, Patterson. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 73 yards rushing for him now as he's toted it 21 times. First and 10, it's Patterson.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Ayuk going to go in motion right.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. The 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Patterson diving for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may even turn into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Prater for the extra point, and the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. San Juan now getting set to take over on offense. Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
Now Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Throwing is Cousins. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
2nd and 10.
Cousins now.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Again, it's Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
Fourth down, Cousins.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Got his man, Okonkwo.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. Here's Cousins. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
Keon White getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but Definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. If they've stopped them 2 out of 3 times, usually you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Once more, they turn to Patterson. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
DJ Johnson in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This from 54 yards away. Prater's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
Keon White, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say cheerio from London.